"If you want me to cry, I can cry right now," John Travolta once said, admitting how easily he could tap into sadness after a lifetime of loss. Those words were not performative, they came from experience. For decades, Travolta has lived with grief that reshaped him, layer by layer. Fame never shielded him from heartbreak, and success never softened the blows that came. By his early 70s, friends noticed something different. Not despair, but reflection. A quiet awareness of time. He spoke more often about gratitude, legacy, and acceptance. Not endings, but completion. This was not a dramatic goodbye, but a man learning how to live gently after carrying enormous emotional weight. Loss taught him that life is fragile, unpredictable, and precious. Instead of resisting that truth, he leaned into it. His silence was never emptiness. It was understanding earned through survival, a childhood built on family and creative belonging. John Travolta's foundation was shaped long before Hollywood ever noticed him. Growing up in a tight-knit New Jersey household, family was everything. His father chose stability over ambition to be present, while his mother redirected her artistic dreams into teaching and nurturing creativity at home. With siblings who sang, danced, and acted, performance wasn't encouraged, it was part of daily life. The Travolta home was filled with laughter, competition, and love. Improvised skits and shared imagination created confidence, not ego. This environment gave John something rare in show business: emotional grounding. When he later faced rejection or pressure, he carried the certainty that he belonged somewhere. Dropping out of school at 16 to pursue acting in New York was risky, but it wasn't reckless. He had a support system that believed in him completely. That belief became his backbone, from television breakout to cultural phenomenon. Early roles on television slowly opened doors, but it was Welcome Back, coda that changed everything. As Vinnie Barbarino, Travolta wasn't just acting, he was inhabiting something real. Audiences connected instantly. His charisma felt effortless, his timing natural. Hollywood quickly realized he wasn't limited to comedy. Film roles followed, proving his range and discipline. Then came the moment that transformed him into a global icon. Saturday Night Fever didn't just launch a career, it captured a generation. Travolta's performance blended confidence with vulnerability, earning critical respect and an Academy Award nomination. Grease followed, cementing him as a symbol of charm, music, and movement. By his mid-20s, he wasn't simply famous, he was everywhere. Yet behind the scenes, he remained grounded, still closely tied to family, still cautious of fame's volatility. Success, setbacks, and the strength to continue. Hollywood fame moves fast, and it rarely waits for anyone. After his meteoric rise, Travolta experienced professional setbacks that tested his resilience. Some projects failed to connect, and momentum slowed. For many actors, this would have marked an ending. For him, it became a lesson. He didn't disappear or retreat into bitterness. He kept working, kept learning, and kept believing in his craft. When Look Who's Talking reminded audiences of his warmth, it wasn't nostalgia, it was timing. His real renaissance came later with Pulp Fiction, a role that reframed him entirely. He returned not as a comeback story, but as a fully formed actor willing to be flawed. That chapter proved something important: careers are not straight lines. Longevity belongs to those who endure the quiet years as gracefully as the loud ones. The first great loss that changed everything, long before global fame, John Travolta experienced a loss that permanently altered his emotional landscape. His relationship with Diana Hyland was deep, sincere, and grounding. Their connection offered stability at a time when his career was accelerating rapidly. When illness took her life far too early, Travolta was left devastated. He stood beside her through her final days, absorbing grief at an age when most people feel invincible. That loss taught him that love could be brief, fragile, and irreplaceable. He carried her encouragement forward, even as his career soared. This experience introduced a truth he would encounter again and again. Success does not protect the heart. From that moment on, joy and sorrow became intertwined in his life. Diana's passing was not just heartbreak, it was the moment innocence ended. Building a family and losing a child. Years later, John found lasting partnership with Kelly Preston. Their marriage was steady, private, and rooted in shared values. Together they built the family John had always wanted. Fatherhood grounded him in ways fame never could. Then came the unimaginable. The loss of their son Jet shattered their world. No public recognition could soften that pain. Travolta and Preston withdrew, focusing entirely on survival and their remaining children. Grief became daily life. Rather than collapsing, John searched for meaning and remembrance. The Jet Travolta Foundation became a way to honor his son while helping others. This loss changed how he viewed time, ambition, and success. Everything slowed. Work became secondary. Presence became essential. The loss of a child is not something one recovers from. It is something one learns to carry. Losing Kelly and learning to live differently. In 2020, John Travolta faced another devastating loss when Kelly Preston passed away after a private battle with cancer. This time he was no longer a young man. He was a father, a survivor, and someone who understood the permanence of grief. Her death altered the rhythm of his life. He stepped back from the public eye, prioritizing his children and emotional healing. Interviews became rare. Silence became necessary. Friends noticed a quieter version of John, reflective rather than withdrawn. He spoke openly about grief as a process, not an event. Love, he learned, does not end. It transforms. Kelly's absence reshaped his definition of home, happiness, and purpose. Instead of seeking distraction, he chose presence. That choice defined this chapter of his life more than any role ever could. Belief, support, and personal understanding. Throughout his life, John Travolta has been open about seeking structure and guidance during difficult times. His spiritual beliefs offered him a framework for understanding loss and resilience. Rather than presenting belief as rigid or unquestioned, he has described it as personal and evolving. During moments of intense grief, support systems mattered more than doctrine. What sustained him was consistency, community, and a sense of meaning. Over time, his relationship with belief matured, becoming quieter and more introspective. He emphasized personal responsibility over labels, growth over certainty. For Travolta, faith was never about public approval. It was about survival. As life changed, so did his relationship with spirituality. That evolution mirrored his journey as a whole. Adaptation without bitterness, reflection without spectacle, fatherhood, privacy, and choosing peace. Today, John Travolta's deepest identity is not actor or icon, but father. He has centered his life around protecting his children's privacy while guiding them with compassion. He celebrates their individuality rather than projecting expectations. Shared moments, simple routines, and emotional openness define their family life. Fame exists, but it no longer dominates. He has learned that presence matters more than recognition. His parenting reflects lessons earned through loss. Love must be intentional. Time must be respected. This quieter life is not retreat. It is fulfillment. Travolta has chosen peace over performance, depth over noise. His relationship with his children anchors him, offering continuity after years of upheaval. In them, he finds both legacy and renewal. A life still moving forward. At 71, John Travolta is not closing a chapter. He is writing differently. He continues to explore creativity at his own pace, embraces stillness, and allows room for possibility. Friends describe him as open again, thoughtful, and grounded. Not chasing attention, but open to connection. His life has been marked by extraordinary highs and unimaginable lows. Through it all, he never hardened. He softened. His story is not about tragedy alone, but about endurance. Love lost, love remembered, love continuing. Travolta stands today not as a man preparing for an ending, but as someone who understands that life is fragile and therefore precious. His greatest role may not be on screen, but in how he continues to live, with honesty, gratitude, and quiet courage.